Some middle-class families will soon be forced to pay a tax just to heat their homes, thanks to a new climate policy.
The law will go into effect next winter in Seattle and will charge 24 cents for every gallon of oil used in the process. But how do residents feel about these bills skyrocketing?
24 cents, quite a nugget. Joining us now from Seattle is Jason Rantz of KTTH Radio. Jason, thanks for being here. You say this is a really bad idea and won't do much to help the environment. Why?
Well, it really won't. So when you look at the actual numbers of what this is doing for climate change, we're talking about representing about 2% of the total emissions in Seattle. So you've decided in the city of Seattle to hit this tax on about 18,000 households, somewhere between 15 and 18,000, at a time when it's already incredibly expensive to live here. We're having this conversation about housing affordability and how it's pushing people out. Well, you've got 24 cents on top of the traditional sales tax. So it's already $3 a gallon for some heating oil. At the end of the year, it's going to cost the average person an extra $1,700. I've been calling it the Seattle heat tax because now to stay warm when it's cold, we're going to tax you for it. It just seems like we're getting out of control.
Yes. OK, so you say that the math adds up to $1,700. But if you convert to an electric heat pump, that costs about the same amount. And this law would really affect working class and elderly folks who still use oil in their homes. So what are they to do?
Well, what are they to do is they're going to have to pay the bill. So at the end of the day, if you're going to convert yourself into a newer system, it's going to cost you anywhere between $15,000 and $16,000. And that's just on average, which means for a lot of other folks, they're going to say, OK, what am I going to do? I guess I'll have to pay the extra funding at the end of the year because it's not a high enough number to justify immediately turning it over. Now, the city says that they're going to basically have some subsidies for people who are lower income, and they seem to think that that's going to work. Unfortunately, most of these subsidy programs, virtually no one actually knows about them. And roughly 4% of the people who are eligible are even signing up for it. So it's going to hurt more and more families. And it's not just low and middle income folks. It's also senior citizens who don't have $16,000 to just put into upgrading their heating system.
Jason, in the 30 seconds we have remaining, I don't know anybody who's anti-environment. I think we all want clean water, clean air and all that. But it seems that a lot of places, especially on the West Coast, come up with these ridiculous rules that don't end up helping the environment but end up hurting individuals. Are you worried that this could spread nationwide?
Absolutely. I mean, this is just legislating by virtue signal, right? This is telling the world that we care about the environment, but we're not actually going to do anything that's going to positively impact the environment in any meaningful way. At the same time that we've been having this conversation, they tried to actually ban natural gas in new homes, new developments. Now, that thankfully was postponed at least until next year. But the concern is, yeah, they're going to keep going down this path, and it's going to cause a lot of problems without actually helping the environment.
Right.
Yeah. Charging people money to stay warm sounds pretty cruel. Jason, thank you so much. We appreciate your insight.
Thanks for having me.
The time is now 17 minutes after the hour.